Hey BC, it's Greeno. Back to do an update. Pretty big update. Did a little digging last weekend with BC member Overkill Vids, Corey. Everybody knows Corey. Great guy. The wife and I got to hook up with him and his wife, and basically spent the day Saturday digging in Pittsburgh, and had a great time, man. Just great people. Hit it right off, as soon as we met, and just want to do it again. Hopefully they can come down this way, or we can hook up in Pittsburgh again, or maybe in Ohio. So it will happen again. But like I said, great day. We hit Pittsburgh. The wife and I actually got there Friday night, and we stayed the night. She has relatives in the area. Went and visited some relatives, stayed the night, and then hooked up Saturday morning with Corey and his wife. Friday, when we got into Pittsburgh, we actually, I didn't think we'd have time to hit this other store that was a little further out. It's called Out of the Ordinary. So we hit that Friday night, and then Saturday we hit Ides and Moncure, and grabbed some lunch, hung out, talking, had a great time. We're down by the strip, walking around, and we were kind of gone. We had to take off, get back home. It was about a little over a 3-hour trip, so it was a long day, but a great day. But kind of go through everything here, and it's quite a stack. Like always happens when I go to Pittsburgh, I spent way too much, picked up way too much stuff, and left way too much stuff behind. There's just always good stuff there, man. Like, never disappointed. There's so many shops there, and all cool shops. It was just a great time. We didn't even make it to Jerry's this time. We kind of, decided to check out these other stores. So, all right, here we go. I want to show this first. Corey was nice enough to get some little BCLT for me from Moncure. This is one of the singles he did. He did like 12 singles last year, like a little set. And this is Mud City Manglers. Very cool, and thank you so much, Corey. I haven't spun this yet, and like I said, there's a huge stack here. I'm still working my way through everything, but this will get spun soon, probably this weekend, and excited to check it out. And like I said, I haven't got through a lot of this yet, so might not have a lot of information, but we'll see. We'll wing it here and see what we can do. Okay, I kind of have them in order, I think, of how I picked them up, so here we go. This is Friday night. Like I said, we got in town Friday night, and I didn't think we'd have time to get to it the next day, so I went to the one shop that was out kind of near where we were staying. It was a little ways outside of Pittsburgh in another little town. But it turned out to be a killer shop, so we'll be going back there. Found this, really excited to grab this, man. Testament, Souls of Black. And this is a Back on Black reissue. Just, I've had this on CD forever, but I never had it on vinyl. And the Back on Black, usually, they do a great job, I think. I've actually heard a couple people complain about Back on Black, but everything I've gotten from them has been fantastic. It's a Testament, man. It's just killer thrash, Bay Area thrash. Love the cover. This I could not believe I found, still sealed. It's kind of like, I guess it's their first album. Excuse me, it's their first album, but the album initially came out on Amphetamine Reptile, and then it came out on Mercury a year later. This is the Mercury pressing, but still sealed. Nashville Pussy, Let Him Eat Pussy. And like I said, I've had this on CD forever. I didn't even know, I never really looked into this. I didn't know this was available on vinyl, to be quite honest. It came out in '97. I think this pressing came out in '98. And like I say, Mercury, still sealed. And I jumped on Discogs just to find out some information on it, and I got it for less than a third of what they're kind of going for on there, so extremely happy. Dig this band, especially this album and their second album. So super happy to find that. This kind of grabbed because years ago saw this band live. The wife and I took our youngest daughter to one of those Bands Warped Tour, whatever, which was, you know, basically nothing there for us except for a couple bands. This band and an all-female Japanese ska band, if I remember right. I can't remember their name, but they were really good. Wife has a shirt. But this band is fantastic. The Horror Pops. Psychobilly. It's the singer here on the cover, and still sealed. It's year 2005 on this. So kind of excited to grab this, or to spin this. Cool band. Also in here, found these Made in Pittsburgh compilations. So I picked them up. They're all from the early 80s, 1980 I think. And it's just local Pittsburgh music, you know, bands. There's some, I listened to this one, and there's some straight rock, a little garage kind of thing on here, and a little new wave sounding kind of band. No real metal I've come across on this one yet. But here's volume 2. So hopefully, you know, further in I get here, there might be a metal band. But either way, there's some cool stuff on here. And volume 3. I like local stuff like this. So grab those. And also grab this, another local thing, Pittsburgh Rocks on WDVE. This is the big radio station in that area. Just for miles and miles and miles is WDVE. It's kind of the heart of Pittsburgh, actually. Steeler games are broadcast on DVE. You want to know what's going on in Pittsburgh, you tune into WDVE. But this is cool too, different series, local stuff, and that's 1980 also. Grab this, it's real cheap, band called Cat. I think this was 1970. Yep, 1970 on RCA. I've seen this online, and I was hoping it would be a little heavier than it is. It's good rock, but not real heavy. But it's good. I ended up liking this, you know. And I've never seen it around before. I think I got this for like $4 or something. I was really happy to grab that. Alright, and then found some 80s metal lurking within the bins. Dirty Blonde. This is an EP from, wow, I can't remember, 88, from California. Just kind of that, you know, late 80s MTV, hair metal, whatever you want to call it. But it's an indie press, so grab that. It's an Upgrade, Marcello. I think this was the first album. 88. Wow, the eyes are going, people. Killer album. Like I said, I have this already, but you know, this is definitely in better shape, and it was cheap, so I grabbed it. Incredible guitar player. This was cheap too. It was like $3. Winger 2, In the Heart of the Young. This is also an Upgrade. Or no, this is an Upgrade. I actually have a sealed copy of this, and I'd never come, you know, across one that, you know, they would pay $10 for it, but I found one for $3 for a good player copy, so grabbed it. Toy Roz. I think that's how you say it. Toy Roz. T-O-Y-R-O-Z. Yeah, that's it. 88 out of Cleveland. Another indie pressing. 6-song EP. That's pretty cool. And that was cheap too. Super excited to find these. Renee showed some Tiger Tails, and I'd never seen them before. Some oddball, like 12-inch stuff and all that, and came across some. This is Tiger Tails, Young and Crazy. Is this the? This was the full length. picture disc. So grab that. And this was the one I was really excited with. It's 12-inch for Heaven. But on the B side, they do a cover of Creeping Death by Metallica and Peace Sells by Megadeth. It's like, gotta hear Tiger Tails doing that. And they're killer covers. They do a great job on it. I never knew about this until Renee showed this, and I was actually been looking for this online and just hadn't pulled the trigger. And this turned up, I think it was $4. So, definitely. And Tiger Tails Love Bomb Baby, another 12-inch single. I haven't checked this one out yet, so to see what's on the B side. For a few dollars more live, and She's Too Hot live. So really happy with those. Also found this Hyrax Thrash and Destroy. It's a live 2 LP set, live in Germany, 2007. This is like $10. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'll take that. Don't see that around my area. And I can't believe this. This is like really freaking cool. Grand Funk Shine On with the glasses still intact, still in the shrink. I see this album all the time, and the glasses are always gone. Somebody done popped them out and checked out the cover and blah blah blah. And I do have one more copy with the glasses in them, but it's not, you know, it's in good shape, but not like this in the shrink, so I had to grab this. And also cheap, $5, oh, $6, sorry. And the last one I found there was an upgrade of Alice Cooper, Raise Your Fist and Yell. Have this, mine's, you know, good shape, but not near as good a shape as this one. So happy to find that. Alright, and that was the first shop, Friday night. So Saturday rolls around, and like Corey said in his video, we met at Ides Entertainment, which is huge. It's 4 floors, and it's all comic books, music. It's just a big building for geeks. It's great. There's so much cool stuff in there. I actually ended up picking up some new stuff there, more than the used bins, and here's what I ended up getting. Caius, Blues for the Red Sun. Still getting the Caius albums. This was the one, yeah, I definitely wanted to get before they disappeared or whatever. I just need the last one. It was a Circus Leaves Town, I think that's the name of it, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I'll probably, if I come across it, I'll get it. But you know, saw this in there and I went ahead and grabbed it. And also, this has been on the the want list for a while, since it came out a couple months ago. Bloody Hammers, Under Satan's Sun. Have their first 2 albums and really dig this band. So it was in there, and this kind of stuff, usually where I'm at, you know, I got to travel further to find stores that stock this kind of stuff. So it was cool to be in there and find, you know, stuff I look at online that I want to order right there in front of me. So that's kind of why I ended up grabbing these. You know, like I said, it was a road trip dig, so I went way overboard. But Pittsburgh always gets me. And the last one from Ides was Hellstar, This Wicked Nest. Been wanting this for a while too. And this AFM Records import, German import. So really happy to grab that. And that was kind of it for me at Ides. Other than if you see behind me the new Judas Priest flat. I was checking out, and while the guys were ringing everything up, I turned around and I saw that all the way across the store, and I'm like, is that for sale? And he's like, absolutely. So I went over and jumped up and got it off the wall, and it's now here in the music room. It's just too cool. I love the cover. I was happy to find that thing. Okay, so Corey and I were done at Ides, and we loaded up, and we met at Moncure, which is possibly my favorite store in Pittsburgh. Love that store. The owner's really cool, and he stocks really cool stuff that you kind of don't find anywhere else. Just a great store if you're into punk and metal and kind of more obscure rock and that kind of thing. Just a really good place to dig for records. Okay, so I went in there and found a few things, and I get talking to the owner. I think Mike was his name, and he had these albums up on the wall, and they look cool, but with metal, especially right now, a lot of stuff's coming out. People are digging back and finding old recordings, and stuff's coming out, and you never know about the quality, and they're usually expensive, and I just kind of didn't even pay attention to these things. I knew all the bands, but you know, it just hit me as some kind of bootleg thing or something. But I get talking to him, and he's like, "You really need to check these out. It's on this label called Buried by Dust and Time, or Buried by Time and Dust, one or the other. But it's a cool band, or cool label. They're putting out old recordings, especially a lot by new wave of British heavy metal bands, like old demos, and they sound fantastic. I guess they're redoing them, you know, remastering them and all that, cleaning them up." And he dropped the needle on a couple of these and was like, I gotta grab those too. So here we go. First up is Mithra, Death and Destiny. Just a killer early new wave of British heavy metal band. And as you can see, like I said, it kind of looked like boot covers or something. But this is kind of the cover of, they had one EP, and you know, it changed a little bit on here. And that's basically all that got released. But this has the EP and some demo recordings, and they sound fantastic. And it comes with a poster. Kind of go into these a little bit because I think they're really cool. It's like a show poster. So we have Motorhead and Saxon, and Mithra is further down there, Vardis and White Spirit. Just really cool. And this huge book comes with it, which is filled with pictures and, you know, information on the band. Really well done. I kind of liken this label to an American high roller. You know, they're just kind of getting going. I think they don't have near, you know, they might have 20 releases or something, or, you know, high rollers up into 300s or something. But wow, they're doing it right, just like high roller, and they sound fantastic. The packaging is great, everything that comes with them, and this album is killer. As soon as I got home, was checking this out. I actually have this on CD. I've had it for a long time, and I hadn't listened to it for a while. Come home, drop this on the turntable, and it was like, man, this is killer. And I was like texting LJ, it's like, you got to check this out, because, you know, he was big into the Dragon Slayer when he found that. It's like, man, you got to check this out. Next on that label was Satan. This is really cool. This comes with, kind of like they redid the original single, Kiss of Death, Heads Will Roll. And this was the original Satan single that come out, a reissue of it. And then they did demo stuff. Just killer. And it's the same deal. There's a poster in here and a big book. Just they just nail it. This is a really good label. I want to keep my eye on and hopefully grab some more stuff from him. He actually had one or two more that I would like to grab, but, you know, running out of money, and he's weren't cheap. Excuse me, I ended up grabbing 4 in total. Next was Medieval. This is actually a band from Michigan, if I remember correctly. And this is a 2-album set. Same deal, it's a gatefold. Has all kind of extra stuff in it. These guys were early 80s, like, let's see. First recordings were like 83 on here, but they started out earlier than that. They were in Michigan, and it's almost like an early new wave of British heavy metal sound these guys have. Punk and hard rock mixed together. And I'm guessing at that time, you know, when these guys were writing these songs before 83, you know, probably 81, 82, they hadn't heard any of this stuff, really, I'm guessing. But it kind of comes out that way. That, you know, new wave British heavy metal sounded. But, you know. Anyways, that was cool. And I think they put out a couple cassettes, and that was it. I don't think anything was ever released by them on vinyl before. Alright, next up is Future Tense, Condemned to the Gallows. And I'll be honest, I don't know much about this band. I'd heard the name before. And this is also a 2 LP set. This has stuff from 83, 84, 82, and an EP from 2003. They must have got back together. So, excited to check these dudes out. This is Dutch heavy metal, so they must have been a Dutch band. And like I said, this is on Buried by Time and Dust. So I picked up 4 of these off that label, and they're all freaking... I haven't heard this one yet, but the first 3 I've heard are, yeah, totally worth the money. They were great. Next, Eviction, Who Will Win? I believe this was a Pittsburgh band, and this is like a new issue of some tracks from 1988. So I'm not sure, I haven't got to this one yet. I'm not sure if this was a demo or what was going on here. But thrash band. Yeah, looks like they have some flyers on here where they played with Zethrope and Heathen and who else? Sacred Reich, Atrophy. So, I think these guys had one album out on like Metal Blade or something. Totally got to go back and look. Sorry. Alright, next, The Normals, So Bad, So Good. These guys, I have one other album by these dudes. Late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, 78, 79. Kind of power pop, punk kind of stuff. And what was this on? Logger Records. But it's still sealed, brand new, just a reissue. He stocks this kind of stuff, and I really dig, you know, the late 70s, early 80s power pop punk kind of thing. Which here's another one, the Nerve Breakers, Hijack the Radio. This is awesome. I have one other album by these guys. I think it was on Get Hip also, which this one's on Get Hip. And this stuff's all from 77 to 79. I mean, I can't remember where they were from. Was it Texas or Boston or somewhere? But anyways, George. If you haven't heard these dudes, check them out. This would be right up your alley, man. This is great stuff. Song on here called My Girlfriend Is a Rock. This is a great song. And this cool color vinyl. I've never come across one like this before. Really dig that. But really cool band. Like I say, I have one other by them that I really liked, and then, you know, this popped up in there on Get Hip, which is a Pennsylvania label. And one more, Channel 3, Airborne. Don't know a lot about this band yet. I picked up one album maybe a month or 2 ago I was listening to not long ago. And 80s, kind of reminds me a little bit of 80s Soul Asylum. But thought I would check out another one by him. And that's it. Like I said, huge haul. Spent way too much, bought way too much, and left way too much behind. There's just so much good stuff in Pittsburgh. So I'm done for a while. Other than a couple things coming in the mail, you know, definitely blew my wad here. So I just want to say again, Corey, great time, man. Totally enjoyed hanging out with you, and like I said, right off the bat, man, we got, you know, just hit it off, and it's just crazy. You know, you talk to the BC members through this box here, and then when you finally meet one, it's like you've known them forever, and you just kind of jump right in and go, man. It was a great time. Like I told Corey at the end, you know, we had a good time. Nobody pulled a knife on anybody. It was a good day. So alright, that's it. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, BC, and sorry this was so long, but it was a long, fun day. Later, BC.